The world has been destroyed again on this latest Netflix original movie, and I have been noticing a pattern with Netflix releasing all of these post-apocalyptic movies. And are they trying to tell us something, or am I thinking too much into this? Let me know in the comment section below. But I will say that even with the end of the world, it shows that humanity can adapt and we will evolve to meet every crisis. And with that, in this video, we're going to be talking about the characters, the plot, the themes, and the ending of I.O. to get a better understanding of the message that the movie's trying to tell us. So let's start off with the characters, and we're going to start off with the main character, Sam Walden. Now, Sam is a young woman who is alone, and she's been living on Earth because in this movie, the world has been devastated by global warming or some climate change that happened. And most of the oxygen on the planet is unbreathable and is covered by ammonia. So as a last resort, humankind has launched into a space station near the moon of Jupiter called Io, and the people who are left were left to die. However, Sam survived, and she's been living alone in this small mountainous area where the oxygen is breathable, as opposed to the rest of her surroundings where she has to wear a gas mask to actually go out and explore the surrounding areas because of the unbreathable air. But her area itself, on top of the mountain or on the side of the mountain, has breathable oxygen. It's one of those last small pockets of air on Earth. And we see Sam living alone, and she's going about exploring, scavenging the areas that are covered in ammonia with her mask on, trying to find a cure or trying to find a way to help fix the atmosphere or a way for us to adapt. And Sam as a character is very determined character. She's the only one left, and they're trying to convince her because she has a pen pal who is on the space station near Io who's trying to convince her to come up to the Io station. However, she feels as though that she can actually stay and better our lives on Earth, and we can evolve or adapt to actually live on Earth. So her determination is not allowing her to go up into Io. However, she does feel very alone because as humans, we're a very communal people, and we require a group or we require people around us. But Sam is alone while she's doing this. And while Sam is going through this, we start to realize more about her family and what happened to her family. And that's because a new character came in, and that character is Micah. Micah was flying on a hot air balloon, and he landed in Sam's camp where she had breathable air. We can tell by Micah's expression and the wariness on his face that he was also somewhere alone, and he's just tired of living on Earth and tired of not finding any food. Because of the way the atmosphere is now set up, it's hard to grow fresh vegetables and animals and livestock for food. So Micah was very surprised when he found that Sam herself had fresh vegetables, and she was able to live this life and farm in a way that produced fresh vegetables to eat. Now, the character of Micah, while he is very tired and wearisome of the world, we come to find out that he's a very caring individual, and he actually, in the short time that he's been there, he develops feelings for Sam, and he wants to take her to Io as well, because living on Earth alone is not something you want to do, especially in a planet where there's no one else around you and it's hard to breathe and you are confined to one specific area. Now, the key reason Micah and Sam stayed on Earth was because of Sam's father, who was a scientist by the name of Henry Walden. Now, Henry believes that human beings can adapt to anything, and the planet is just trying to feed and weed out the toxins from its planet, because we as humans pollute the Earth beyond compare. However, we're meant to stay on Earth, so it's only a cleansing matter, and we as humans are destined for Earth, and there is a way to fix the Earth so that we don't have to actually exodus and go to Io. However, we come to find out that later on, Henry himself, after everyone has left Earth, and it's him, his wife, and his daughter, Sam, we find out Henry's wife dies because of the atmosphere and the lack of resources that they have, and that causes him to give up hope, and he decides to just stop wearing his mask and stop breathing oxygen. And if he can adapt, he'll adapt. And if he doesn't, he died. So he had false hope, which instilled false hope in Sam, which instilled false hope in Micah, because Henry was a world-renowned scientist and his thing was stay on Earth. So the message broadcasted all around the world. So people who did not want to leave Earth believed that he could actually cure this thing that's happening with the planet, but he was unable to do so. And Henry tells Sam that she should go to Io because no one should stay here alone. So one of the major themes of this movie is loneliness and being alone and isolated on Earth. Earth is our home as humans. Can you imagine being stuck in your home all alone for years on end? that can be very maddening. But let's get to the most interesting part of the movie, and that is the ending. At the end, we see that Sam removes her mask and she doesn't die. She doesn't die from breathing in the ammonia, and she actually has a kid because her and Micah share a moment together, and I guess she was impregnated by Micah. So Sam can breathe and live in the ammonium-filled atmosphere, and so can her kid. That goes to show that humans and life forms on Earth can adapt. Because if we remember a bit earlier in the movie, there was a beehive that got exposed to the atmosphere. However, the queen bee actually survived. And that was some foreshadowing to the fact that if the queen bee can survive, Sam herself represents the queen bee who will repollinate the world. Because we know bees are necessary for human life. Bees pollinate flowers and do all that gives us oxygen. And that starts the whole ecosystem of bees pollinating plants, plant life, animals, and all that, with some big science that I'm not going to get into. However, bees are very crucial to life. So if the bees can survive in this atmosphere, life can survive in this atmosphere, and the atmosphere supports it. With that said, Sam herself represents the queen bee, and she will repopulate the world. And it shows that because she had a kid, and if she has a kid, everyone else who's on Earth can repopulate. And Micah, who left to IO, could deliver the message that Sam is able to survive in this ammonia-filled atmosphere. So humans may try to come back to Earth as opposed to finding a new planet to live on if we can adapt and live on the planet. The main themes of the movie are human connection and hope. Hope is the most powerful weapon we have as humans, and we hold on to that dearly. Hope can make us strong, and hope can make us weak. It can tear us apart. And we being human beings, we're able to adapt to every scenario, every major natural disaster, or every major thing you've had in your life. Think about it. You've survived and you've grown stronger. So the ending of the world and the ammonia-filled atmosphere is nothing but another obstacle and hurdle for humankind to overcome, and we overcome it, shown by Sam overcoming the atmosphere. So while the movie itself is, to be honest, not that a spectacular movie, it does show that even with the end of the world, even with all these end of the world movies coming out and all this fear-mongering happening with all these things that I have a theory on, we can survive and we will adapt, because that is what humans do best. That is what living organisms do best, because we did start off, the movie makes a point to say that humans and life did start off as a bacteria, and we evolved and adapt into what we are today. So when the atmosphere changes and the world changes around us, we as human beings will evolve and change as well. Anyway, guys, that's my thoughts and my explanation on the movie IO. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section below. If you liked the video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. And until next time, binge on.